Hello gang, and welcome to another edition of Talking Toys, the video show. Sadly, this is going to be the last Talking Toys video that I'm going to do, since I'm going to move the entire concept to the podcast. And more sadly, I'm going to take a vacation. Well-deserved vacation for this hard-working laborer. It's gonna be a year since I started posting videos on YouTube. That was September 15. It was my first video review was Cybertron Starscream, which was a horrible quality video and stuff. I've recently upgraded to this camera. Well, not recently, like a year ago. Recently, but I thought, hey, if I'm gonna go on vacation until the end of the year, yep, you heard it, that's like 7 weeks, no videos from me. I'll be approving comments and answering questions, but as far as taking the time to make a video and upload it, this is gonna be the last time before the new year. Don't cry. If you want to unsubscribe, you may. I won't feel bad about it. But stick around. And I should be working on making cooler stuff, because making these videos takes time. And all I do is just record it from the camera and upload it. I know I can make it more fancier and stuff if I had all the time I wanted. But I'll probably do that on VO, since VO is unlimited video hosting. Alright, so I'm going to talk about Gundam. If you want, check out my latest podcast. It's number 6. I talked about Gundam there. This is the first interaction that I had with Gundam. It's a VHS. The thing is, I bought it, I watched it, and I bought it and I watched it, and then I gave it to my relatives in Santo Domingo. But after a while, after knowing the sentimental value that it held, I asked for it back. Yeah, you're not supposed to ask for gifts back, but I asked for this back. As you can tell, the box is beat up and VHS is dead. It was Shooting Stars. Ah, the memories. Well, but to understand Gundam, let's go to the future. I just recently bought this kit in Chinatown. It's the Gundam Virtue. It's from the first season of Gundam 00. It's a first grade Gundam. As you can see, this model kit is largely unpainted. And the articulation is limited. If you're going to start building model kits, Gundam model kits, first grade, FG is the way to go. This kit cost me $14. Sadly, after buying it, I realized I didn't have the time to make it, to build this kit. So I'm going to put it up on eBay, see how hot it is or not. If it's hot, if it sells for more than I bought it for, I'll probably start getting more kits to sell and more action figures. I also bought this when I bought that. This is the same mobile suit. It's the Gundam Virtue, and this is the high grade kit. We should use this. This is the high grade kit. Now, high grade is a different grade, as you can tell it's high grade, than first grade. This one cost me $25. And here's some pictures of the model kit, along with some some pictures from the cartoon. I mean from the animation, because anime is not cartoons. Here's some more pictures. I don't know if it comes with that base, and it has like a special crotch joint. The bazooka opens up, and as you see, GN bazooka and GN cannon. This kit is not taped, so let's see what's inside. When you buy a Mobile Suit Gundam kit, you'll get the instruction booklet, which is all in Japanese. And here's like a double-page spread. Of what the kit can do. As you see, it could open this to reveal that, and the bazooka turns into burst mode. Burst. And even though the instructions are in Japanese, they're easy to understand. See, like, let's take a look over here. It's real complex, but they let you know like exactly how things are supposed to go in. Let's see. This edition of Talking Toys is gonna be long, so you guys are gonna have to bear with me. So they'll let you know, like with these little exclamation signs, like how does one thing go in, so that you don't put something in backwards. And you make sure you get it right. So even though it's in Japanese, well, there's not a lot of Japanese characters on these instructions, but even though it's Japanese, it's easy to do if you have the time. I prefer collecting action figures because you don't have to build them. But if you like to build stuff, if you're a model kit builder or just a old guy with nothing to do, you could start collecting Gundams. Here's the trees with all the pieces. Alright, so that's a glimpse of the future. Even though Gundam 00 is in Season 2, and this mobile suit's from Season 1. The mobile suit in Season 2 that the pilot Tierra Ende, is it Tierra Ende? The mobile suit that he pilots might look the same. It might have the same color schemes, but it's not the same. This Gundam was spoiler, was destroyed at the end of Season 1. Alright. Different from other talking toys, I'm just gonna film and then I'll cut the whole thing into 10-minute pieces so I could upload to YouTube. So there's not gonna be any hurrying to finish. Alright, so let's take a trip to the past. And by past I mean Gundam Wing. Ta-da! When Gundam showed up in the States, circa 1995, no, around 2000 around 2000, I guess. That's when these figures started coming out. But this is the second wave because they already have the Leos there. And I guess Gundam was on Cartoon Network, Gundam Wing, around 1998 or 1999. And then the figures started coming out. I had bought a first grade kit at a Gundam Dev site, but then when I found the action figures, I decided to drop the 1/100 scale altogether. I mean, 1/44 scale altogether. So that first grade kit that I just showed you earlier, it builds a kit about this size. They do sell action figures from Gundam 00, but as you can see, this is one of my later purchases. The Blitz Gundam was 18 bucks. This Gundam is from Gundam Seed. In Japan, they're known as Mobile Suit in Action. Let me show you the back. The Japanese and Americans do things differently, as you can tell. So, like, I think the Americans just want to get it done. Slap the thing on the cardboard and put it in a plastic bubble. But the Japanese, they put this thing in this box and they package it, and it's so nice and so cool. So, one of my favorite places to go in the midst of all my Gundam buying was Chinatown. And Chinatown is cool because you could usually get stuff at the price that it's supposed to be in Japan. Like, if something costs 24,000 yen, it's probably, 2,400 yen. I don't know. But usually the yen to dollar conversion is pretty much the same. So if you have something like say you have a catalog and it says something like here's an example. I'm gonna keep talking about that. This is my Mobile Suit Gundam Data Master Glade Data book. Well, it's a MOOC. It's a Mobile Suit Gundam book. This is this is for the master grades. So what I'm talking about is, let me see. Let's say you want to buy the Gundam Mark II. This is the old one. They recently came out with a 2.0. You see all the way down here, it's in Japanese characters. So, it says they're 2,800. So, this mobile suit kit should cost about $28 here in the States. Another example would be this. This is the RX. This is the RX 78-2. This one would be about 30 bucks, 3,000 yen. This one, 60 bucks. This is the master grade Faz. Alright, let me zoom out. So, usually in Chinatown you could get things for that. You should be able to get things for the price that they're originally for in Japan. So to talk about Gundams, the difference between the American versions and the Japanese would be that the Japanese would ink they'll trace out the panel lines. And as you can see, they instead of using yellow for the kit, for the figure, they'll use gold. Because it's more detailed, it's usually a little more expensive. But if you wanted to go with the regular version, you could go with that. That's what I would do. Because I'm cheap. If I could get the same figure... Alarm! If I could get the same figure for the... That was my alarm to wake up and go to work. But I'm not working today. So if you could get the same figure but cheap, go with the cheap. Like a lot of people want to buy Hen-K Transformers because they look nice. If you're willing to spend more, then do it. I don't care. I'll buy the cheap. So, as time progressed, we got various different mobile suit figures and kits from different series. Now this, as I already showed you, is the original Heavy Arms. Bandai decided to upgrade with this, which is more modern Heavy Arms. They did do some differences. They added extra fist. The little panels on his legs open up. And they changed the color. They made him a little darker. This is the old one. This is the new one. Old and busted, new hotness. So, around this time when these figures were coming out, the line was dying. I talked about that in my podcast. It was almost the end, my beautiful friend. But the world of Gundam isn't limited to just action figures, as you know. We have a lot of stuff. And the good thing is that even though Gundam in the States is kind of like dead, I hope there's a revival with the Sci-Fi Channel's airing of Gundam 00. But in Japan, since I live in New York, there's two stores that I would go to. One of them is called Book Off. They sell used books. And the other one's called Kinokuniya bookstores. I got this Gundam Characters Encyclopedia. It's real cool. Has like line art. And it came with this little book. So you have line art for a lot of Gundam series. This is a guy from 0083. Another guy. So I got this, the Gundam Encyclopedia. Has Amuro Ray on the cover. There's this little book. I got a Mobile Suit Encyclopedia. I bought one from Hobby Link Japan, and then I found one in Book Off. So the Gundam Encyclopedia, what it has inside is mobile suit art. First it has colored art, and then it has lined art of the same figures. Of the same mobile suits. Ooh, there's the Goof Custom, one of my favorite suits. I was also able to find this rare gem at Book Off. It's Gundam Sentinel, the Battle of Real Gundam. It was $20. It's pretty good, but from what I've heard, I thought it was going to be like this picture book, but it's not. Just give me a minute. Let me see if I could do this better. Up I go. Whoa. Alright. So it's like, I don't know, it's a magazine, and it's supposed to tell the story of the Sentinel Gundam, but I don't know where the story starts and where the concepts come in. They came out with model kits of all these figures, of all these mobile suits. My favorite is the EXS Gundam. This one. Look at that thing. Isn't it a thing of beauty? But it's a good book. The designer of the Sentinel Gundam is the same guy that did designs for is it Hajime Katoki? I think he did the designs on 0083. That's why I like 0083 so much. Is the Zeta Plus. Then there's like, so if there's a story in here, I can't find it. It has some Gundam Girls art. Is this it? But I don't know. I just got it because I wanted to know about Gundam Sentinel. And also at Book Off I got these. These are, it's just line art for the series. This is the AFMS team. This is one of the Gundam. I like the designs of the series, but I don't like the story. I think the next to last episode is the best of the whole series. If you're gonna watch any episode, watch that. And I got this from 0083. My favorite mobile suits, the Physalis and the Zephyrantes. And there's a picture of Ko. I've collected a lot of master grade kits. As you can see, I have the Zeta Gundam, the Zaku. I'm not gonna go. Wait, should I go? Yeah. I could go through them all, but it's like, oh, that's the gym. Mark II, Titans Mark II, Gundam, and I got the high grade guys and the Endless Waltz guys and Super Deformed. As you can tell, I was really into Gundam. Oh, Evangelion. Gundam. Alright. Wow. Turn a Gundam. That didn't have a lot of merchandise. Alright, so let me see. Moving out of the model kit action figure and book realm, I'm gonna move. Oh wait, let me take a trip down. Whee! That's a pile of books. Alright, so as you can tell, most of those books are in Japanese. There were like 2 books released to the American market, and they were made by An America and Mark Simmons, who I think is awesome. I've never met the guy. I had the chance to meet him, but I was too shy. I don't know if he still works on Gundam anymore. His website, Ultimate Mark, doesn't mention anything about him still working on Gundam. Alright, so the next thing we have to go to is the video Of course, most of these are bootlegs. Sorry about that, Bandai. I love your merchandise, but it's too expensive. Alright. So, the stuff that I did get from American release, I got this because my old VHS was beat up, and VHS is the way of the past. It's gone the way of the dodo. I moved to the future. And the cool thing is that this one has one episode extra than the VHS. I got it for $5.99. Sad. And the other things I got G Savior, which is a bad live action movie, but if you're a collector or fan of anything, usually you try to ration out the good with the bad. Like if you're a Star Wars collector, you try to see the good things in episode 1, 2, and 3, even though you know deep down inside you hate it. This is how I feel about this movie. It's Gundam, and it's in English, but it's bad. I got this also because if you're a Gundam fan, you know that after 9/11 they stopped airing Gundam episodes on Cartoon Network, so I was never really able to finish the series. So I bought this to finish it, so that I could see how it turned out, even though I already knew how it turned out in Japanese with subtitles. I just wanted to get the dub. And that's it for my American releases. This is the last Gundam bootleg DVD that I bought. I mentioned it in the podcast. It's Gundam Destiny, the first volume. Then I got this Mobile Suit Gundam. This is the AFMS team. It has English dub, so I think the packaging is pretty nice for a bootleg, but it has English dubs, so I think they ripped it from the American version. This one's the same too, 0083. Since I wasn't able to see Zeta Gundam, I got this Zeta Gundam bootleg set. But the thing is, the subtitles are horrible. It's real bad. I got this V Gundam, which it's a pretty good series. It's mostly depressing. Sucks the life out of you. That's what the Gundam guy said, and it's true. I mean, Uso goes from one bad experience to the next, and a lot of people die in this thing. That's the cool thing about anime. People die. I got this right before G Gundam was gonna come out in the US. I got this just to see what it was like. I should have waited though, but Gundam Fighter, ready, go! And I got this Double Zeta Gundam with bad subtitles. Not as bad as Zeta, but they're not that great. And the last box set that I bought, Gundam Seed. I bought this before the series came out. It has brand new English subtitle. But the thing about anime in America is that I wanted to try. My first anime was like Evangelion. I wanted to try and collect it, but the first DVD I bought had 4 episodes. Then the next one had 3, and the one after that 3 and 3, and for $30 I was like, ugh, no, can't do it. Alright, 30 minutes in. Let's move on to the next topic. It's gonna be video games. Yeah. When my younger brother moved in with me, he brought his PlayStation 2. So I started buying Gundam games. When he moved out, he took his PlayStation 2 with me, and I sold my games except for these Gundam games because I like Gundam, but I also know that it's not popular. You're not going to find a lot of these used. If you do, then pick it up, because it's not like something like Grand Theft Auto that everyone's buying it so that when they sell it to GameStop, you'll be able to find it used. This is like, if you found it, you're lucky. I think I might buy a PS2 and get it modded, because there's a Gundam 00 PlayStation 2 coming out in Japan. It's called Gundam Meisters. I want to try that out. But for now, this is what I have. Ta-da! This is Mobile Suit Gundam Journey to Jaburo. On YouTube, there's some cutscenes from this game. It was the first Gundam PS2 game in America, so it's not that great. Then I got Zeonic Front, which is pretty good. It lets you play it's more like a strategy game. You see, packed with strategy and action. So it's more of a strategy game. You have to go along a certain path and you control like 3 squads at a time. I got it. Wow, $8.99. This Gundam game is a good game. Federation versus Zeon. It's a 2-player game. The first 2 that I showed you, they're 1-player games. This one, 2-player. So you could play in space. You could play on Earth. You could choose a Zeon suit or a Federation suit. And the thing is, they made a sequel to this, Gundam vs. Zeta Gundam. That game, I played it, I rented it. It's the same thing, but it's good too. This game, Gundam Encounters in Space, is the first game that I bought when it came out. As you can tell by the awesome cover of the Zephyrantes full burner shooting at you. It encompasses 70 plus suits. And it's all ranging from the Universal Century. They do have the Wing Gundam and the G Gun, and I think 2 G Gundam suits and 2 Wing Gundam suits in it. Good times to be had. Cutscenes and gameplay for these games can be found on YouTube. And this was my last game that I bought. Gundam Seed, Never Ending Tomorrow. There was a MS Saga game with super deformed suits. Wasn't interested in that because that had nothing to do with Gundam. The suits were Gundams and Zaku's and all that, but the characters were not from Gundam. It was some weird story thing. There's a Dynasty Gundams game. I played the demo at Target, and that looks nice, but it's for the PS3. Alright. Well, Gundam, like I mentioned before, Gundam 00 is going to be airing on the Sci-Fi Channel. If you're a Gundam fan and you have cable, watch it. Support it. I think the downfall of Gundam in the States was probably it was a couple of things. I'm not gonna number them because I'm sure it's like more than three. One of the things that they did wrong, they would bring suits. This isn't a master grade, but they would have Mobile Suit Gundam kits in Toys R Us. And like I mentioned with my master grade catalog, if you have a Gundam, just give me a moment, guys. Let me unearth this. Like I was mentioning before, with the catalog, the prices were way out of whack. I remember seeing we had the GP02. It was $100. That was the Physalis. Let's look it up here. GP02. Garg. Or wait, that's a 01. Page number 40. So the thing is, the suits were way overpriced. GP02 was $100. Let's look at the price here. The price was $40 or 4,000 yen, as you can see. It's the retail price is $40. That's about the price that I bought it for in Chinatown, and they had it for $100. Kits that would regularly be $30 were selling for like $50. That was a bad mistake. I mean, the fans wanted the merchandise, but if you have a whole bunch of stores like Hobby Link Japan that are selling them for cheap, why are they gonna go to Toys R Us and buy them for like triple the price? So that was epic fail on their part. The other thing that Bandai did was that when G Gundam came out, I'm looking at you, G Gundam. Yes, you're one of the blames for the death of Gundam. When G Gundam came out, we had a whole bunch of mobile suits that were Gundams. Most people liked the Gundams in the series, but we had a whole bunch of Gundams that were wacky, like the Cobra Gundam, the Mermaid Gundam, the Zeus Gundam, and these things warmed the pegs. They warmed the pegs for a long time. So that was mistake number 2. You gotta see what people like and what they want. Let me see. Number 3 might have been that when they decided to make their own forum, it turned into a black hole for jerks. I'm sorry if you were on there, but it's like, let's say if Hasbro made a forum and people joined it, you know how many people would be complaining to Hasbro on their own forum? Granted, you want to get feedback from the fans, but I don't know. The best thing to do would be to do what Hasbro does now, Bandai. Go have people look at the forums that work for you, not join the forums and post, but just take a look. What are people talking about, right? And finally, let me see, for the death of Gundam was airing episode. Let me see. Like I mentioned before in the podcast, please download the podcast. This is Pimp. When Gundam Seed came out on Cartoon Network, you have to have first let me say, you have to have merch, something to go with your merchandise so that you can sell it. If you want to sell the Blitz Gundam, you have to let the kids and the adults see what kind of character is the Blitz Gundam pilot. So that when the kids are playing, they could say, "Hey, I like to play the piano, and I'm gonna get burned and stuff when I die." You have to let them know more than what they see, unless you want people to create their own characters. And I don't know if a toy line has ever worked on that concept, like the Zevos. Like, hey, look, this is a design. You make the character. You create the personality. I don't know if that works or would work. It sounds like a great concept. Like if McFarlane made a bunch of mechs that looked cool that didn't belong to any show and just said create your own character. How would that go? I think that happens a lot in Japan with their modeling contest. Like they'll make Amuro Ray's Destiny Gundam or something and paint it and stuff. But the thing is that when Gundam Seed came out in the States, they were airing it at like 1 a.m. where nobody would see it. Hell, I think that's why I bought the box set. So, 3 things. Number 1, don't flood your shelves with bad merchandise like the Transformers movie line. Number 2, air your cartoon or whatever it is at a time where your target audience can see it. If it's aimed towards adult, air it late. If it's aimed towards children, Saturday morning. And number 3, what was the first point I talked about? Oh yeah, number 3, keep it cheap. Try to keep the prices of your merchandise as reasonable as possible. Let's say I don't know how much it makes, how much Bandai has to spend to make one Mobile Suit figure. I don't know. It's usually cheaper than what it sells. But don't sell it to me for like 3 times the price. That's crazy. It's like Spada from TFWire. He was talking about how awesome the Henkei Power Glide is. I saw it in Chinatown. The thing's $60. I'm not gonna pay $60 for a figure I can get for $24, even though it's painted red. So you gotta think about the fans' wallets. Alright guys, support Double O by watching and buying the merchandise if any of it comes out. Bandai, if you're listening, and I'm sure you probably will, because when I tag this thing with Gundam, you're probably going to want to check it out to see if it infringes your copyright. So I know you're watching, Bandai. If you bring any merchandise to the States, keep it cheap or reasonable. Alright guys, thanks for everything. I'm gonna have a nice vacation. As always, you could email me at talkingtoys@gmail.com, or just comment on my channel, or send me an email thing on my send me an email on my channel. Even though I'm on vacation, I'm gonna still be on the internet, because I gotta watch stuff. And let me leave you guys with a nice image of the Virtue Gundam. The Gundam Virtue. Ooh. Wow, look. It's Tierra Ende. Ooh. 2007. First grade. See you guys. Thanks for watching, and bye. And bye.